Castle Williams. He's a well-rounded fighter, good fighter, very skilled, tough guy.
I don't need motivation. I motivate myself. I really, want to be a world champion, and I try every day to make that happen.
I feel my biggest advantage is my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's my faith in Him.
The fans should expect to see a knockout tonight.
The best Brandon cohea that's ever stepped in the cage.
To the Tachi Palace Fights cage, I was talking to Richard Goodman. He said that Cohea, a very hard-nosed high school wrestler, but also has a traditional martial arts background. I don't know if we're going to see him throw strikes as effectively as Aaron Arana earlier, but look for that clash of styles a little bit, mixing high school wrestling with a little traditional martial arts, a taekwondo, a karate type fighter. So we'll see how that works. I'm looking at Twitter. We gave a little bit of a shout-out to Sports Lab. Rose City FC got at us. Sports Lab no longer. They're now known as Rose City FC. So appreciate those guys checking in using the hashtag TPF22. Rose City FC. More fighters down here to Tachi. Let's make that happen. Brandon Cohea definitely going to be the heel in tonight's proceedings. We have the video package play here in-house, and just Castle Williams being on a screen gets the audience riled up. He's a star, and a variety of ways here in Lemoore for good reason. He's fought here twice in really two scintillating fun fights.
Yeah, Brandon here's got a tough test ahead of him, and all of his fights, all three of his pro fights have been out in Porterville, which is the next closest promotion here next to Lemoore, where Joe Soto's from, actually, Porterville, California. So smaller venue, smaller show, but he's got a big opportunity. I mean, I know he's fighting a quote-unquote prospect or whatever you want to say, but Brandon comes out here and beats Castle Williams. All of a sudden, Brandon's the big prospect.
It's a big statement, and you can steal the thunder and luster from anybody with one punch or one well-timed submission. We'll see Brandon Cohea try to do that tonight against a surging Castle Williams. Castle Williams makes his return to the Tachi Palace Fights cage, a very hot prospect with a lot of pressure on his shoulder. At just 22 years old, he's fighting out of the famed pit camp led by John Hackelman. He takes the TPF cage tonight for the third time as professional, with both of his previous efforts proving to be highlight reel material. In June of last year, Williams defeated Cameron Ramirez by vicious spinning back body kick, actually caused a knockout to the body. You don't see that all that often, but definitely solid stuff there. And then we talked about the performance by Drake Bowen earlier. Bowen lasted a little bit longer than he did here tonight and really had Castle in a world of hurt, very deep submissions. Talking to Castle in the pre-fight interview that we did, he recalled being in that inverted triangle, remaining calm and thinking very clearly, okay, I'm in a choke, nothing's going to break. If I go out, but I'm going to be calm here, and I'm going to be patient. He ultimately got through and scored a submission of his own. At just 22 years old, he's thinking like a professional mixed martial artist, and that mental edge is something that it takes sometimes years for guys to develop. I think Castle Williams already has it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, sometimes hype trains are, maybe they're too big, or they're not necessarily warranted. So far, I mean, even though he had a tough go out his last fight in the first round, he met some adversity. That's good for Castle Williams. That's good for him in moving forward, where everything's not always going your way, because it's going to happen.
Castle Williams moves up to 145 pounds, previously a bantamweight. Said he's a lot more comfortable in his skin as a featherweight. We see Williams will enjoy just a 1-inch reach advantage, roughly the same age, 20 to Cohea's 21. I believe that's wrong. Castle Williams said he was 22 to me yesterday, but negligible at best. 2-0 for Williams. Cohea 2-1.
And Williams looks, if you remember his last fight, he looked like he tried to make that bantamweight weight class. He looked really bloated at the fight. Yep. Looks a lot better tonight at 145 pounds.
We'll see if that weight cut turns into a strong performance here by the pit fighter. Let's go up to Tyson Johnson for our introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This fighter stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 144 pounds. He represents the Ultimate Brothers with a mixed martial arts record of 2 wins and only 1 defeat. He hails from Springville, California. Please welcome Brandon Lionheart Cohea. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed in at 144 pounds. He represents the pit with an undefeated record of 2 wins and 0 defeats. He hails from Arroyo Grande, California. Please welcome Castle Williams. Your referee for this bout will be Jason McCoy.
Jason McCoy getting this featherweight assignment. Castle Williams against Brandon Cohea. Castle Williams down on a knee. That doesn't look like a UFC fighter, does it? John Jones starts in the same position, but now Williams back at his feet, takes the center of the cage. Cohea comes out with a hard kick to the lead leg of Castle Williams. Williams said he took his last Tachi fight on just 6 weeks' notice. Wasn't really ready for the weight cut that he had. He said he cut 22 pounds.
Wow.
That's a lot of weight when you're a bantamweight.
Yeah, I've done it. It's not fun. There's a great spinning back kick.
Shades of his spinning back kick that he used to defeat Cameron Ramirez back in June of 2014. Castle's just so loose, just so comfortable. Throws a variety of strikes. You really don't know what angle or what corners that he's going to cut here with his
Good little body kick there by Brandon, though. He's definitely not afraid of Castle Williams here. He's coming out to fight tonight.
You look at the thighs of Cohea, too. Man, he looks like a kickboxer.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely, he's not afraid of the hype. He's not sitting here, and he's here to win, it looks like. Good, double leg attempt. Castle gets a front headlock.
You know, Castle Williams has been, getting a lot of hype for spinning back kicks like that, but as an amateur, he won 4 fights all by choke, so he has the ground chops to match his striking ability.
Yeah, but so far, both guys just look like they're willing to exchange punches here. Good straight right hand there by Brandon.
See Williams kind of shake it off. He seemed more upset that he was hit with that rather than actually, the pain from the strike.
I'll tell you what, this Brandon Cohea kid's here to win this fight, and he's making it a fight so far. High-paced. Everything that's been spun at him for the most part, he's avoided or blocked at least partially. So here we are on the body clinch now against the fence. Brandon reverses position while Castle looks to go little slap boxing there to the ear.
That'll definitely mess with your equilibrium.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never been hit that way. I just heard other people say that.
Looks like Castle's going for a head and arm choke and then a knee that misses, so we're back to standing. Another right hand and a body kick from Brandon. Castle's looking for a takedown here. Switches to a knee.
Kind of a nice little innovative knee there. Castle had the right leg of Cohea trapped and still threw a knee. Standing elbow, just misses by Castle Williams. Both of these guys, you still, in a lot of action here, Cody, but it's almost like they're still kind of getting notes about one another, a little bit of a feel-out process. I think that was a trip by Castle Williams. I don't think he was hurt by the punch. We'll see what Castle can do here off of his back. Cohea in the full guard. See a little rubber guard action by Castle Williams.
Castle's bleeding out of his nose, so Brandon definitely here to fight. I'm impressed so far with his pace and his ability to land some shots on Castle. Castle again seeing adversity in the cage, second time in a row. He's got an arm bar, and he's in he spins out.
I don't think he had the right arm over the leg, so Cohea was able to, or the right arm over, or the right leg over the face of Cohea. So Cohea was able to scramble out of there.
But it does reverse the position, so now Castle Williams has Cohea's, again, we talk about this position, this head against the cage, postured up, high, in the guard. So
nice pace here by Castle Williams. He said he fought at featherweight throughout his entire amateur career and then turned pro, and just kind of felt it was an unspoken rule that when you turn pro, you drop a weight class. Kind of felt pressured there. Now back at featherweight, that's going to pay dividends if this fight does go in the latter part, the third round or so. He's going to have a bit more gas on him to go through such a cut.
Yeah, and that's part of the growing process, is figuring out what the weight classes you need to be at and how to get there and the best way to manage that weight. So he's learning, and right now bantamweight isn't in his picture, but down the road it might be if he decides that as the competition gets higher, people are cutting more weight. So to me, he looks like a bantamweight, but maybe right now in his career, featherweight's a good match for him.
And again, he's in his early 20s.
Yeah.
He said that he's still growing, that it's he's not growing height-wise, but he's still filling out his body, and we'll see what happens. I mean, you think a 22-year-old man is beyond growing. You're really never done growing until your body says, I'm not growing anymore. Castle Williams still trying to figure out how big of a man he's going to be.
I grew 6 inches last month. Double underhook pass for Castle. Looks like he's going to end up in side control. Looks like he's framing a Darce choke. Looks like doesn't have his hands clasped yet. Good job by Brandon. He recognized what was happening, and he's trying to reestablish guard. Brandon's impressed me. I really wasn't sure if he was going to come out and be able to hang with Castle, and he's shown that he can. He spent a lot of time on bottom, though, this round. Probably cost him the round, but...
definitely in it, a game opponent. This is not going to be a cakewalk for Castle Williams.
Yeah.
Little stomp there to the body to end the round there. Castle Williams bloody, not discouraged, but he's got himself a fight here with Brandon Cohea.
It was an impressive round for both fighters. I don't know if Brandon can keep that kind of pace for 3 rounds, because especially in the stand-up department, he was coming at him and he was throwing it over and over again. Here's that attempted body kick, and then a right hand from Brandon and another straight right.
Castle Williams just walked out of there, looked very frustrated. I don't think he expected Cohea to come that strong with those strikes.
Well, yeah, you don't know what kind of training partners he has there at the pit. If guys are pushing him, I'm sure they are. Antonio Benuelos is here. I'm sure he's getting pushed, but he definitely didn't like getting hit. He thought, he almost like he was mad at himself, like you said earlier. Here we are on the ground. Brandon throwing up some strikes from the bottom, like, hey, he wants to scrap, man. He's a tough kid.
Castle Williams not afraid of a fight, getting his instructions from John Hackelman and UFC vet Antonio Banuelos. It's got to be a little bit intimidating if you're Brandon Cohea looking across the cage and seeing 2 well-respected martial artists in the corner of your opponent.
Or motivating, like, hey, nobody thinks I can win this fight. Nobody thinks anything of me. I'm not hyped, and that could be a motivating factor for Brandon, and so far he's shown that.
There's definitely a lot of people that came here tonight to see the Castle Williams show.
Hook
Brandon
kick.
Cohea trying to send them home up unhappy.
Double underhooks for Brandon. He's got Castle locked up.
We mentioned that high school wrestling background of Cohea. We'll see if he tries to drag this fight to the floor here in the second round. Tried to go
right
for a
on top
takedown,
of him.
and Williams stuffed that. Just got on top. Nice.
He's going rubber guard, it looks like. He's got to get the head to the opposite side and get his elbow over, which he's not doing. Castle should be able to get out of this fairly easy. And it looks like a pass is there, too. Castle stands up over him.
Castle content to grapple here. Doesn't look to stand up. Passes to side.
We're back in side control for Castle Williams.
Again, TJ DeSantis along with Cody Gibson. This is Tachi Palace Fights 22. 3 titles still on the line later this evening. Currently Castle Williams on top of Brandon Cohea.
Brandon's trying to be aggressive from the bottom. And back on his feet. Oh, he slips. And here comes the kicks. Did he land that right hand?
No,
I was looking at the kick.
Castle slipped off of the
kick, right? Yeah, I didn't think he was knocked down. Now a rubber guard from Castle Williams.
It was funny, both guys slipped in the exact same spot, so moisture must be on the vinyl over there.
Yeah, and he's using the rubber guard a lot more effectively. See how he's going for almost a Gogo Plata attempt there. Watch an up kick here. He's definitely got the flexibility.
He disengages. Referee Jason McCoy says, all right, stand this up.
You saw Brandon Cohea, too, at the end. Oh, some Castle Williams coming at him here. You saw at the end of the first round, Brandon Cohea jumped up, very excited, a lot of adrenaline pumping through him. He knew that he fought a pretty competitive first round, and now we're starting, I don't know, I think we might be starting to see a little bit of an adrenaline dump.
Castle Williams fighting here for the 3rd time this evening. He's used to this process. He's used to the crowd. I mean, the lights do burn bright here at Tachi Palace Fights, and Castle, just in his 3rd professional fight, a little bit used to that process here in Lemoore.
He's got a triangle here.
He's got a triangle.
And that's
He's locking this thing up.
I mean, that was just basic. Castle Williams just let that happen there. I can't believe.
Castle Williams in serious trouble here, trying to mess with things. Now, Cohea should just pop up on top here and try to finish this.
Yeah, he needs to just, he's out.
Castle Williams able to save off that submission attempt, but he gets put on his back. That was very serious. Castle Williams able to get out of that, but that was very dangerous there for a moment.
And to be honest, he almost put himself in the triangle. It wasn't like some fancy setup from Brandon Cohea. Castle was just kind of burying his head and let one arm go out and one arm stay in, which is just a jiu-jitsu 101 no-no. Little armbar attempt from Castle Williams. Brandon now throwing some little short elbows from inside the guard. Castle did a good job of going to the butterfly, or I'm sorry, the rubber guard earlier. Let's see if he tries to go back there. Both guys throwing some hard shots on the mat.
Would you like to see Cohea just separate and maybe have Castle back on his feet? What would you like to see him do? He's had success on the feet, but he's also had some moderate success on the floor.
Yeah, it's wherever. I mean, sometimes you get a feel for things in a fight. Oh, he's going to give up.
Castle plays footsie and gets on top for it.
Yeah. Those guys need some work on their jiu-jitsu, to be honest with you. Some kind of elementary mistakes, but...
Right. And again, this fight in the latter part of our card, but still both very young guys. Castle Williams put in this position because of the entertainment value he has shown here at the Palace.
Well, I think about half the people here are here to see him. You heard the crowd when he came in. There's a lot of Castle Williams fans here. And he's the one coming from the Central Coast, whereas Brandon's actually more of a local guy than he is.
You wouldn't be able to tell that by the fan reaction, though. Castle Williams, a fan favorite here in Lemoore. A minute remains here in our second round between Castle Williams and Brandon Cohea.
We got about a minute to go in the round, and again, you got to lean toward Castle Williams so far in this round, although he was in a deep triangle. So
right,
I mean,
and Brandon Cohea is still very dangerous. I mean, he showed that with that triangle attempt. Now working with the guillotine.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to. He's in side control now, so if he needs to let go of that guillotine. There's actually a good Von Flue choke if he wanted it for Castle Williams, but he needs to go ahead and let go of that guillotine. Yeah, each round Brandon's shown that, he's competitive. He's had his moments, but overall, I think round by round, you've got to give each of the first two rounds so far in the second round to Castle Williams. And
I mean, you've seen some moments here where Castle has some room for improvement. I mean, a very quality prospect, but Castle's going to look at this, I think, and go, okay, I could have done this here. He's really only going to get better. Same for Brandon Cohea.
No, yeah, I think both guys have proven. These are both young fighters early on in their career, and I think both guys have shown that, they've got a lot of promise, Brandon included.
Castle Williams probably up 2-0 on the judges' scorecards. Brandon Cohea is still not out of this fight. He had some moments here in the second round. We'll take a look at the action from our middle frame here. Cody, walk us through.
Oh, we got that triangle. Castle pretty much put himself in there. And he does a good job. This is a decent submission defense here to go inverted like that and put your feet up and try to arc that back. But he got swept because of it, and he ends up getting his feet here. So you see if this happens right away, but he sweeps again, ends up on top, and spent the majority of the second round on top. Besides that one positional change off of the triangle. So. Yeah, we're going to see what happens here in the third. If these guys want to keep it standing, if they want to go and tango on the ground again. But if I'm Brandon's corner right now, Brandon Cohea's corner right now, I'm saying you need a finish.
Castle Williams also going to look for a finish. That's just the type of fighter he is. Never been the distance in his amateur or professional career. We'll see if he can get another victory by stopping Brandon Cohea. If Cohea is going to get the victory, he needs a stoppage as well.
Show of respect, right hand. Castle's coming out throwing some punches as well. Body kick by Brandon Cohea. Another one.
Cohea likes that kick to the body of Castle, but now he gets taken down.
See, I don't understand this at all. He almost that's the second time he's done that in this fight. He almost just drops to the ground.
A bit of a scramble ensues. Castle says, all right, let's stand back up.
And here they are back on their feet.
The corner of Castle Williams asking him to stand back and trade here. It's slipped again. I don't know if he's just getting caught off balance or if the mat is really that slippery.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's almost the same spot. We've seen him slip twice now. So, but if you're the referee, are you looking on the mat right there and asking for a towel?
Yeah, I would definitely take a look at this mat. I mean, Javi Vasquez brings it up all the time, and no one better to bring up vinyl mats like this because Javi's career was derailed by a slippery mat in his fight with Alberto Crane. I mean, when these mats get slick, you can even wipe it off with a rag. It's not going to do much good. Now we see Castle Williams get back on top here. He's looking for another highlight reel.
Yeah, I think nice little head and arm throw.
Castle Williams right into half, knee on belly. Cohea able to separate.
Yeah, you could tell Castle wants him to stand, and Brandon is kind of done standing up, I think. It seems like he wants this on the mat.
Castle Williams kind of
Outside
turning this into a
leg kick.
Saint show fight. He wants to do takedowns.
Tries it again. Yeah, it
kind of
almost
bailed
seems
on
like
this now. I thought maybe he was going to go for a knee bar, but it's not there.
it almost seems like Castle Williams isn't just looking to win anymore. He's looking to do something to talk about tomorrow.
Oh, he's working a leg.
He's going for. Oh, he got hit pretty hard there. He was going for a leg attack there, and he ate like a back fist.
The corner of Cohea imploring him to posture up and try to rain down some ground and pound. He's got 3 minutes to work here. He's going to need more than the round to win the fight.
Yeah, simply staying on top and landing short shots. Here comes an arm bar. A lot of times when you throw your arm underneath like that in an MMA fight, it's not a good thing because you can get it trapped if the guy puts a lot of weight on that leg. But he's able to get it out here. And he's going back to the leg. Looks like wearing those ankle protectors like that, I don't understand that at all.
It's a liability.
He's got to roll. He's got to roll. He rolls, but he might give up position like that.
Castle Williams stands back up.
This is turning into a wild third round.
It's a lot of fun. Castle Williams trying to excite the fans that came from San Luis Obispo to watch him fight here. Brandon Cohea goes for a takedown of his own. I don't know what happened right there.
Spinning back elbow. Castle Williams ends up on top of triangle attempt again. No,
Wrong side,
he's
though.
going to omoplata. Castle is stuck in an omoplata at the moment. Brandon's got to do something with this. This is your moment, you know.
Brandon Cohea, the time is now if you're going to make something happen and try to win this fight.
Castle steps over. He's out of trouble now. And now he can start really peppering that body if he wants to.
Cohea wisely triangles the body.
Yeah, now we're in this
stalemate that causes some fans cage side to giggle a little bit, a reversal.
I'll tell you what, this has been a wild round to watch.
It has been a lot of fun here between Castle Williams and Brandon Cohea. 90 seconds in this fight.
Coming down with those 12 to 6 elbows. As silly as that rule is, it's still illegal. And our referee, Jason McCoy,
not noticing it.
That. Huh?
Not noticing it, apparently.
No, he warned him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Oh! Castle gives up his back, but
no
Brandon
hooks in here by Cohea.
Very high. He's very high. And he reverses position. A roll from Brandon. These guys are rolling all over the place.
I mean, this fight is just scrambles all over the place.
He's got a deep guillotine.
Deep guillotine here by Cohea on top of Castle Williams.
He's
going to get bucked off here, though.
He's okay. You know, even if Brandon Cohea wins this round, it's, you know, most likely he lost both the first and second round in the eyes of the judges. So
but again, a solid fight. I mean, let's be honest. Brandon Cohea was brought in here to fight a very tough prospect in Castle Williams, where literally everybody in the crowd is trying
Dart's attempt.
Oh, this is deep.
He's got it deep.
This is very deep.
He rolled. I didn't like the way he rolled there.
Castle Williams biding his time, gives a little thumbs up to Jason McCoy. If you're Cohea, what do you got to do? Do you got to try to get on top here?
Yeah, he rolled the wrong way on that Darce finish.
Time's going to expire. Again, Brandon Cohea might take this round. But there's not going to be enough time to choke out Castle Williams.
Yeah,
what do you think? Was that enough to give the round to Brandon Cohea?
I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. He lost the first and second round, and you know, Castle seemed a bit lethargic in that third round, especially with submission defense.
Cohea's corner trying to do the sell job, raising the arm of their charge, and
yeah, and I mean, honestly, he like you said before that choke was sunk in there. He was brought in to lose. You know, he was brought in to lose this fight, and he made it a hell of a fight. You know, it was a good fight.
Yeah, really solid stuff there by Brandon Cohea and Castle Williams. We'll see what the judges say here, but let's look at the action of round number 3.
Here comes that head and arm throw. Castle ends up on top. These guys were really trading positions this third round. I mean, how many times did we see position change from top to bottom? And sometimes it was just falling down. It could have been exhaustion, you know. Some good submission attempts by both fighters, some good strikes by both fighters. I think we got two young fighters that definitely have a lot of improvements to make, but they also definitely have a bright future ahead of them.
I like MMA like I like my eggs, and that is scrambled, and we got plenty of scrambles in the third round, Cody. That was a lot of fun between Castle Williams and Brandon Cohea. Our judges have tallied their scores. Let's go up to Tyson Johnson for our official decision of this featherweight affair.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for both of these gladiators. After 3 exciting rounds, the judges have reached a unanimous decision for your winner. Out of the blue corner, Brandon Lionheart Cohea.
Wow. Brandon Cohea upsets the crowd with a unanimous decision. I would love to see the scorecards and see what they were.
I would love to hear the scorecards.
Yeah, I actually got our technical producer, Dave Andrus, sent me a text message, said he scored the bout for Cohea 29-28. So, you know, sometimes when it gets put in your head that one guy is a hot prospect, maybe you see it from a different angle.
Well,
I'll have to go back and watch it again, though.
Yeah, it was a close fight, especially that first round. It was very back and forth. The second round, Castle spent probably 2/3 of the round on top. So I have a hard time scoring that second round for Brandon. The third round he could have gave to Brandon. And here we see some of those right hands that landed. That was the first round, I believe. Some of the right hands that were landing for Brandon, some body kicks that were landing for him. I could definitely see a judge, or apparently at least two, giving that first round to Brandon Cohea.
Well, win unanimous for Brandon Cohea over Castle Williams. A fantastic fight nonetheless, even if we saw it different from cage side. Tell us what you think. Use the hashtag TPF22 on Twitter, at TJ DeSantis and at the Renegade 559. Solid stuff from both men here. Really nothing to be ashamed of. I'm excited, though. I mean, that was really a solid fight from both of those guys, and I assume both of them will be back here at Tachi Palace.